Hello, everyone. My name is Irina Lediaeva. I'm a master's student at the University of Central Florida, and I would like to present the paper Evaluation of Body Reference Graphical Menus in Virtual Environments. This paper was co-authored with Dr. Joseph LaViola, the Director of Interactive Computing Experiences Research Cluster at the University of Central Florida. Graphical menus are an essential component of user interfaces, and it also have been widely used for 2D desktop applications. There are many varieties of graphical menus in virtual environments that have been extensively evaluated by researchers. However, we found that body reference graphical menus are an insufficiently investigated research topic. Such menus are still emerging in the field of virtual environment, and there is a lack of usability studies that would provide design guidelines for developers to implement. This work attempts to close this gap. Graphical menus in virtual environments can be classified based on various criteria, such as menu techniques, placement, shapes, and selections. For the menu placements, for example, Azai et al. Proposed a method of displaying the graphical menu in AR on the user's forearm and a menu system that appears at various body parts. For the menu shapes, Callahan et al. Found that menu items in a circular layout perform better in terms of selection time compared to a linear layout in a 2D plane. There are also many selection techniques that have been researched, such as raycasting, eye-based, and head-based selection techniques. We conducted a user study with 24 participants, 20 males and 4 females, aged 13 years old. We evaluated a variety of graphical menus placements, such as spatial, arm, hand, and waist placements, as well as menu shapes, linear and radial, and selection techniques, raycasting with the control device, head, and eye gaze. Here's an example from the virtual environment with the spatial and arm menu placements, as well as hand and waist menu placements. Based on the related work and our pilot studies, we devised the following hypothesis for our study. Our participants were immersed in a virtual environment that portrayed a virtual library in which the user needed to select books. We had a total of 24 conditions in our study, and each condition consisted of 10 tasks. In this task, the participant was asked to select a graphical menu item using the given selection technique. For each menu task, the book number was randomly generated and automatically displayed in the system message. For each menu condition, the system message was placed near the center of the virtual tab with books. Also, the system message included information about the current trial, menu placement, and selection technique. The participant was informed whether a selection was right or wrong by sound alert. If the selection was right, the participant could proceed to the next task. This process continued until all the menu combinations were completed. First, participants were given a consent form that explained the study procedure. They were given a demographic survey, and after that, the participant was guided on how to position their headset and adjust the interpupillary distance for the best visual experience. During the session, our participants were only seated. They didn't stand or walk around with the headset on, and attached Vive tracker to their waist and 2 controllers in their hands to select the menu items. Next, the participant conducted a training session in order to get familiar with the virtual environment and different types of graphical menus. And then the participants started the study session to further evaluate various combinations of the graphical menus. At the end, the participant filled out a post-questionnaire. We use a repeated measures ANOVA per each dependent variable. For the ANOVA results that are significant, we perform pairwise sample t-test to see what conditions are specifically significant. This is the table that shows our repeated measure ANOVA results. We also did the chi-square test for the gathered post-questionnaire data about preferred menu shapes and selection techniques. In particular, we didn't find any significant difference for the spatial and R menus in terms of menu shapes. And for the selection techniques, we found significant difference for the spatial, arm, and the waist placement menus. Overage ratings for post-questionnaire questions are summarized in this figure. Our experiment indicates that the arm menu placement took a significantly longer time to complete the menu task in comparison with the spatial, hand, and waist placement menus. We think that this is primarily because the user needed to adjust their arm position in order to select the corresponding menu items, and also the system message was in a fixed position. The participants found the ARM graphical menu was the least favorite among participants, and the participant found this type of menu hard to use, were highly frustrated by completing the menu tasks, and felt that the menu was in an uncomfortable position. Overall, the participant concluded that the arm placement technique felt more intuitive when it was combined with a radial shape or linear shape and eye gaze selection technique. We also strongly recommend to shorten the amount of interaction because a prolonged duration causes arm strain, especially when the arm has to be held up. We found that the waist menu was significantly faster than the arm graphical menu. The participant found this menu physically hard and difficult to use. Also, the majority of the participants reported that the waist menu in conjunction with the head input would cause neck strain. We highly recommend placing the system messages near the waist graphical menu and not use it for a prolonged duration. We find that the best interaction techniques for the waist menus is the linear shape with the raycasting selection technique. The hand menu was the participant's second favorite graphical menu, and overall, based on the feedback and the result from participants, we suggest using the hand menu in conjunction with the radial shape and the raycasting selection technique. Overall, the special graphical menu was the most favorite among participants. The users noted that the special menu would be better to use with the radial shape and raycasting or eye gaze selection techniques. And for the selection techniques, we found that participants made significantly more errors when selecting the menu items with eye gaze. We think that this is primarily because eye tracking technology is highly sensitive to eye movement, making the user accidentally select the wrong menu items. And overall shapes didn't matter significantly for the participants. Based on the results of our experiment, we were unable to accept our hypothesis. We didn't find a significant difference in our quantitative metrics in comparison with the other graphical menus. We also realized some limitations in our study. For example, we noticed that those participants who wore thick lenses, the eye tracking technology was less accurate for them, and the participant reported that they wanted their virtual arm to be longer. And we believe that with better full body tracking technology by using maybe additional custom hardware, we can solve this issue. Ideally, the system message should have the instruction panel close to each type of menu, and in our case, it was in a fixed position. In the future, it will be interesting to investigate how various menu hierarchical depths or sizes affect quantitative and qualitative metrics, and also we are really interested in how body reference menus can be applied for more dynamic virtual environments, because in our case it was a static environment. Our results show that the special hand and waist menus are significantly faster than the R menus, and moreover we found that eye gaze selection techniques is more prone to errors and has a significantly higher number of target reentries. However, we didn't find any significant difference in task completion time, error rates, and number of target reentries for the menu shapes. We found that a significantly higher number of participants ranked the special graphical menus as their favorite menu placement and the R menu as their least favorite one. We also provided design guidelines and recommendations for body reference graphical menus, including its preferred shapes and selection techniques. This work was supported in part by NSF and Army Award, and we also want to thank the anonymous reviewers for their insightful feedback. And we're also grateful to the Interactive Systems and User Experience Lab at UCF for their support. Thank you so much for your attention.